Good morning. My name is John Talk. I'm so privileged to be the rector here at Emmanuel Episcopal Church in Southern Pines, North Carolina. And thank you for joining us for yet another installment of our Godly Change Bible Study Series. This will be our penultimate version of this, our penultimate episode in this series. So we have this one and then one more. We're really taking a look at change in the Hebrew Bible, more specifically even change in Genesis, and how God brings about not simply a restoration for people, but a change in people, how God makes our community better, how God makes us better. And I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to read you a little story out of the book of Genesis. We sometimes call this the story of the Tower of Babel. Now the whole earth had one language and few words. And as men migrated from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. And they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone and bitumen for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens, and let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth." And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And the Lord said, "Behold, they are one people, and they have one language. And this is only the beginning of what they will do, and nothing that they propose to do will now be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and there confuse their language, that they might not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of all the earth, and they left off building the city. Therefore its name was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth. And from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of all the earth. Now, yes, I know that sometimes people call this the Tower of Babel. However, the word Babel is simply the Greek word for Babel. And sometimes this story is seen as a story of loss. That once upon a time we were united in one language, we were united in one people, that we were united as a community of mankind, of humankind on this earth. And now we are divided asunder one from another. In fact, that's a common talking point, isn't it? That Democrats and Republicans that don't have the same language anymore, that they can't even speak to each other anymore. But I don't see this as a loss. I see this as a gain, as a possibility, should we choose to accept it. We have a plethora of languages. I have my language and you have your language, and Genevieve has Genevieve's language. We all have different experiences. We all have different ways of speaking. We all have different meanings, textures to our words, to our expressions, to our ideas. And these different textures, these different ideas, these different meanings to our languages create for us a whole smorgasbord of human experience from which to learn, from which to grow, from which to be changed. When I go to Costa Rica or to Mexico or Guatemala, when I go to France or to England, I am changed by the people that I meet there, not because we think the same, but because we think and we believe and we feel so differently from each other. When I sit down for a cup of coffee with people who don't believe the same things I do politically, and we have a conversation using our two different languages, I am enriched. When I sit down with people with different religious experiences than I have and share with them what I have come to see, what my experiences are, and open my ears to hear their language, their language, their ideas, their nuances, their meaning, we are both changed. The Tower of Babel gave us the opportunity to experience the world through 7 billion different lenses, 7 billion different expressions, 7 billion ways of speaking. And when we raise that cacophony of voices together in God's praise, we are still one people, each of us learning and growing from the other. This is a fundamental change in who we are as human beings, and I thank God for it this day and forevermore. I'll see you next week. Take care.